All right, chat, though, we have big news. Capcom has finally announced the new costumes for Street Fighter 6, and spoiler, they look ridiculous. So it's been a very long time since we've had any visual updates to Street Fighter 6 since the game has dropped, and let me tell you, the costumes were definitely needed, and they look amazing. So what I'm going to do is I think we're going to go through this trailer, talk about each costume, and I'll give a quick rating out of 10 for each costume that we see. And they're releasing the whole entire launch roster characters. They're giving them all a new costume 3 on December 1st, and they look sick. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, we'll do this in a little bit of slow-mo. So starting off, Street Fighter V Luke returns. I gotta give it looks good on its own, can't complain. 2 out of 10. I'm doing 2 out of 10 because I'm just scarred from Street Fighter V. The costume itself, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just reminds me far too much of Street Fighter V Luke. Scarred. Capcom did an amazing job of totally retconning Luke's reputation and perception and personality by, making him, instead of this like overconfident, cocky MMA fighter, top tier jock, they turned him into a lovable himbo character. But in Street Fighter V, this man was too much. 2 out of 10.
Say what you want about SFB Luke and the stranglehold he had on competitive, but at least his hair doesn't look like dried instant ramen anymore.
That is true. There have been some technological improvements since Street Fighter V Luke. I can't deny that. This is what we have now, and in case you forgot about Street Fighter V Luke, this is what we had in the past. So I think it's a little bit of a glow up. Jamie! All right, Jamie's got a more... So before he was kind of cutting up his classic Chinese formal wear here to show off the waist. Now he's going full formal. This is like before he chopped up the clothing to show off the waist there. I like it. I think it looks classy. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Looks good, doesn't stand out too much, but it's solid. Minone, oh my god. Adam is never dropping this character. The Napoleon inspired. What era would you call this? This has definitely got to be Napoleon inspired. Manoleon? The Napoleon Manon? I pray for Idom that they buff this character in the next patch, because he is never dropping her. Her face just seems so much different too, framed by this haircut versus her classic. It's a little strange to have straight bangs and then like a bracket surrounding your face. Framing your face that way is definitely unusual. So her with normal hair looks actually way different. Well, it's not even normal. It's, with the curls and everything, but more traditional style hair. Kimberly, I think probably the biggest reason why I think these costumes have been so delayed. You'll see it with Kimberly and Lily. The hair physics are actually ridiculous. You might need to slow it down even further to really see, but her hair actually has weight to it. It shifts with the weight and it moves around very naturally. I was like super impressed when I saw the physics with it. So I think the attention to detail here is actually crazy. Oh, what about Manon? I'm gonna give Manon an 8 out of 10. I think it looks good. I'm gonna give Kim an 8 out of 10 as well. I think the biggest thing for me is definitely the physics of the hair. I think it looks sick. But Marissa, okay, let's be real. This is maybe the best costume in the whole pack. Marissa, this is the the wedding day wife costume here. It's not even like a wedding dress, is it? I can't even, what is it supposed to be? It's too good. This is gonna move copies. This is what's gonna move units off the shelf. This is absolutely going to sell copies. 10 out of 10. The muscle mommy wedding dress. It's gonna move. Moving units. Lily with a completely different hairstyle. Once again here, look at the hair physics. Her hair actually falls into her face and it shifts naturally with her movements. I'm telling you, the hair physics is where all of the time went. The reason why we can't get costumes on a regular basis once every couple months is because of the hair physics. I think it looks good. She's got the sombrero. I like the look. Oh, no spoilers on that one. I gotta give Lily, it breathes new life into the character because I feel like Lily has been the most underwhelming character in the whole cast. Not just in like visual design, but also in gameplay. So this might make her a little bit more exciting. I'll give it a 9. I think it improves the character significantly. It's not my favorite costume, but I think for what it does for the character, it's huge. Because Lily is a snooze fest right now. I'm sorry. I think she's so boring in this game. She is so boring. So just having some variety in her costume at least will make the character a bit more exciting. But hold up. We got a big one. We got a big one coming up here. My guy, JP, when you all said you had enough of him, when you were sick and tired of this wizard grandpa here dominating all the tournament scenes and all the games, they cut away too quick. Let's refresh that. Look at this guy. Not gonna lie, his default, it verges on goofy. I'm not gonna lie. He looks very regal and powerful and classy, but it verges on parody. But whatever they cooked up here, I'm not gonna pretend to understand whatever reference this is trying to be. I don't get it. It just looks fucking sick. The cape is too much. The cape verges on parody, but he is looking fresh to death. Look at the hair. You know, when the casual long hair, a couple strands stick out in the front, too good. I gotta give this one a 10 out of 10. I'm biased. It doesn't make sense for JP. For the character, I don't really get what it's supposed to represent with the character. It doesn't seem to fit his background, but it looks badass. And I'm biased, so hold that. Oh, I forgot about Jury. When I said Marissa's gonna be the one to move units, I think this one might actually have some level of cultural impact outside of the game. The Jury onesie is gonna be the next cosplay phenomenon. It's a simple costume. It's kind of like Blanca Chan for the Jury players. It's not personally my cup of tea, but I cannot deny the power of a simple design and putting a more menacing and dark character into a cute and more disarming costume. So I gotta give it a 10. DJ. I got mixed feelings. I don't know. What do you guys think? I got mixed feelings. I think he looks good, but I'm not sure. Hair bad? I don't think the hair is a problem. I think they did great with all the hair. It's a tacky outfit, but I guess it matches DJ. Yeah, it's very shiny. I'll give it a 7. I think it's a good outfit, but it's definitely tacky. Maybe some colors. Yeah, maybe the colors will look good. I don't like this color, I think is what it is. Tacky colors is actually very Jamaican. Well, you can give it more points for accuracy then. Cammy, I don't know. Cammy's kind of boring. Cammy's kind of boring. Not gonna lie. It does look okay, but I just think okay. I'm thinking like a 6 out of 10. I don't really get the appeal. Ryu, I like this one. I like this one. Do-rag Ryu? It's not a do-rag, it's literally like a dish towel, right? What is he wearing on his forehead? Look at the texture, the fibers on this. This is a dish towel. He was doing the dishes in the back alley, helping out the restaurant, and then it was time to throw down. He just grabbed the dish towel, tied it to his forehead, and said it's time to go. I love this shit. This is minimum wage labor Ryu here. I like this. I think this fits so much with Ryu's style. I gotta give it at least an 8. I'm digging it. Looks like a brawler. I'm about it. Geef! It's so simple. Look, you take the big brawling dudes, you throw them into some formal clothes, and it always looks good. But the thing that sets this one over the top, it's the glasses. Look at the shades he's rocking. The frames. And the Rolex, you're right, Danny. He's flexing on us in more ways than one. And what's around his arms? It almost looks like he's wearing like overall straps, but then you realize he just has his arms belted off for no reason. What's the deal? I gotta give it at least a 9 out of 10. I'm a sucker though for like the classy old school suits with the pinstripe suits. Like Balrog had the similar outfit in Street Fighter 4 that I really liked. Oh, I didn't notice the pin, the flex. That's a good detail. Yeah, he's flexing on us. And it's such a good contrast. Like this definitely gains more points with me because while I appreciate muscle-bound Zangief, shirtless, doing his thing, it provides a very good contrast from his default outfit. Very good contrast. So, great costume. Blanca Chan. The funny thing about this, Blanca Chan is iconic at this point, but I'm not gonna lie. The very first time I watched this trailer, I completely forgot what Blanca's costume was until I went on Twitter and I saw people complaining about Blanca Chan. And yeah, I mean, it's reusing a costume from Street Fighter V. However, look, I gave 2 out of 10 for Luke because I have PTSD from a Street Fighter V iteration. Blanka-chan is an amazing costume. It's such a part of the character. Blanka literally throws Blanka-chan as part of his moveset now. It's become an integral part of the character. So I gotta give it at least like a 6 out of 10. The costume itself, if it was brand new, would be 10 out of 10. Okay, it's iconic. It looks good in Street Fighter 6. It's gonna look good in the game. Can't deny it. All right, Dhalsim. Dhalsim to me, I don't know. I guess when I slow it down, I like the beanie, the casual look he has going on, the underpants. I kind of like how he looks very casual. It's kind of like Stoner Sim right now. But I just noticed also the beard. Hold up, you see the beard? That's getting some points for me. It's a little boring overall though, but he looks very chill. And he's got the glasses. I'll give it a 6. Now Chun, I didn't even realize this was Chun-Li at first. I knew it was Chun-Li by process of elimination, like who would this character be, but I did not recognize her. I did not recognize her at all. Am I the only one? Like when she first showed up on screen, I was like, that's obviously Chun-Li, because who else would it be? But I couldn't, it doesn't in my mind register as Chun-Li. Like it's hard for me to believe it's the same face model. So it looks good in that sense. Definitely contrast from her original costume. Y'all think 10 out of 10? You like the bell bottoms? I don't know. She's got that like late 60s, early 70s hippie vibe going on to a degree. Tekken-esque. A little. I can feel a 6. I don't feel very inspired by this costume. Cool aunt energy. I can agree. Yeah, I feel kind of meh about it. It'll still sell like crazy because it's Chun-Li. It does remind me of Tekken. Honda. There's some tropes that just work in fighting games, and the Hawaiian costume, you know, the Street Fighter on vacation trope, it works every time. It works every time. I'll give it at least a 7. I think it matches Honda's vibe to a T as well. Not much to say about it. He's chill. He's Honda. He's doing his thing. Now, Guile, this is where also the developers were flexing. So this is a big deal. So this is also Guile's haircut and style from one of the pre-release comics where they had some promotional artwork with Guile getting a haircut. He kind of had his hair down in this style. It reminds me of that. But look at the physics. The comb actually interacts with his hair. This was actually a big problem in Street Fighter V. Yeah, so M. Bison's alternate costumes didn't have hats, and this was also an issue with Street Fighter V Ibuki, where their defaults had clothing items. So Street Fighter V Bison's default would have a hat, and Ibuki wouldn't typically have the face mask covering her. But for their alternate costumes, they removed those items, but their win poses, they interacted with those clothing items. So M. Bison, when he would win, he would take off his hat and fix his hair, and Ibuki would pull down her face mask and then stretch and smile. But they didn't have the clothing items in the alternate costumes, so they would interact with nothing, and we would just kind of like pretend we didn't see the fact that they're interacting with nothing, and it looked goofy. But here, you know, I was wondering with the pose if Guile's gonna actually interact with his hair properly, but look, they're flexing it. This is where all the budget's going. All the hair physics. The fact that they're actually interacting with their hair, that the hair actually has weight to it. This is why these costumes are taking half a year to come out. Yeah, the hand isn't perfect. He's blocking the sun from his eyes. That's all he's doing. So Guile, the costume itself though, what do you guys think? Kind of like another 70s vibe. Looks pretty classic American. I think it looks nothing too special. I like the hair though. Hair looks good. It's interesting having Guile with a different hairstyle. So I can respect it for that. Ken, though, listen, it is just tradition at this point for Ken to just look ugly as shit in modern Street Fighter. It's a rite of passage. So they made default Ken look pretty good in this game. Besides, you know, in contrast to the very off-putting banana hair Ken default in Street Fighter V. But you remember this alternate costume for Street Fighter V where no one could figure out what the hell went wrong? I feel like they have to bring back some kind of corny look. And apparently I think this might be a reference based on what Hot Dog 29 here was sharing. P.S. that was a Hong Kong comedy movie about Street Fighter in 1993, and this actor actually is Ken in the movie. So here we have the new alternate costume for Ken. Here is Ken from a 1993 Hong Kong Street Fighter movie. Yeah, everyone else is saying it's Maximilian. Yeah, maybe. But it looks goofy, especially in action. I don't think the longer hair and the leather jacket combination, oh man, I do not like how his hair is folding over on his head. but it's extremely tacky and extremely goofy looking, and I kind of feel like that's good for Ken. Yeah, he does. Did they tone down his muscles? His legs look not as buff as I'm used to. I guess maybe it's the same. He doesn't look as buff, to be quite honest. Yeah, it's very ugly. It's not a good outfit. But like I said, that's kind of a plus. That's kind of a plus for Ken. I don't know. I'll still give it a 7. Ken has to have some goofy looking costumes. It's just par for the course for the character. But man, the costumes definitely look good. And like I mentioned before, they come out on December 1st. So any day now, right? Just 10 days away, 9 days away. So who's the best costume? I feel like Marissa, JP, and Jury might have the best costumes. So I think Marissa is going to resonate with people. I think people are going to be using Marissa. I'm going to be using the JP costume for sure. And I think Jury will have the biggest impact outside of the core player base. You're going to see Jury cosplayers for sure rocking this fit. Absolutely. Lily looks good too. Geef looks sick. But I think to me, the 3 that stand up above the rest are Marissa, JP, and Jury. But overall, I'm just happy that we're finally getting some alternate costumes. Looking at this trailer, it just was so visually refreshing, right? Just watching this at regular speed, just seeing the characters in new costumes, it really breathes new life into the game. And this is something that I've been complaining about for quite some time, is that the game feels a lot more stale than it actually is, in large part due to the fact that we have no alternate costumes, and also because we have colors that are hard to access because they're locked away behind single player game modes that a lot of people don't want to mess with. So a lot of people just use the default 2 colors that come with the character, color 1, color 2. And so because of that, there's only 20 characters in the game, 18 on release. You're going to see a lot of character overlap and repeat characters in tournaments and in gameplay, and people aren't able to pick their signature costume or their signature color because of the lack of access to visual variety. Like, players usually pick a signature color. Like, you would often see tournament players picking a signature costume or picking a signature color, and when the match starts, you can tell who that is because this player is associated with this color and this character's costume selection, right? And so the lack of options has actually made the game feel so much more stale than it really is. This is like such an eye refresher, just seeing the same game with different costumes, the same game, same characters, different costumes. It seems so much more refreshing. So I think the lack of visual variety has honestly hurt the perception of the game to a large degree. And so I think this is actually sorely needed. And I don't really personally mess with costumes and colors that much. I use defaults all the time. But I think for the rest of the player base, when I play other players, I like them to use other costumes. I like them to use other colors as well. It's visual variety for me. And when everyone else is using other costumes, I can go back to default color 1 and that'll be unique. Right? It all comes around full circle. But yeah, I'm definitely using the new JP costume. Every once in a while I mess with some new costumes. I do like a good default here and there. There's a lot of good defaults that I've used in the past. I like Balrog's defaults and Oro defaults and all that. But I'm definitely using that new JP costume. So happy to see that these new costumes are finally coming out.